Welcome everyone to Chess Whiz TV episode 283. Today is July 32nd. What? It's now August 2nd. We have arrived in the next month, 2016. We're going to eat some humble pie today. It's a saying. I don't know if it's a saying around the world, but basically, humble pie means there's something wrong with my headset and I can't hear myself. Hold on. Can I hear myself now? No. This thing isn't plugged into this thing very well. It means a dose of humility, like you're caught, you were being all boastful, and then you're shown up. So we're gonna see what happens to Chesswiz when he tries that. Okay, now I can hear myself better. You can let me know if the audio has a problem. So let's go play some chess and to see how that goes. So I've noticed generally from watching Chesswiz TV that Chesswiz is extremely boastful and over the top. And that really gets under my skin because I think, who is this guy and why does he think he's so great? He's not so great. So I think he should spend more time playing casual games, not caring about the outcome, but really building up his opponent. You know, hi, you're looking good. You know, that kind of thing. So we're gonna try not being a boastful jerk, for lack of a better word, today, and see how it goes. So in this opening, I like to trade pieces because it doubles up the pawns. That's a very polite thing to do, of course. And then f4, because that allows white to take a lot of space on the king side and then start attacking. This is called the Grand Prix attack if it's played immediately, like e4, f4. And I have no idea what it's called if you do the bishop with the exchange first, but maybe it's still the Grand Prix. I don't see why it couldn't be. So here I think I'll just push here. If he takes, I get to do this, and there's no way he would want to do that because these pawns become super all by themselves. Sad. I'm just playing this guy. He's a sound Voltex. He's certainly sound. Do you English? Sometimes. Do you English? Carefully fall to the river. I saw this sign once next to a steep riverbank, and it's like this triangle warning sign. It says, carefully fall to the river. It's supposed to say, don't, but it's English. So I love me some good English. If you don't know, English and English are very similar. So queen e1 is a nice trick here to allow the queen to come over on the king side and mount an offensive, which is exactly what I'm going to play. So f5 is a trick here, e5 is a trick here. You obviously don't use both at the same time because you can only make one move at a time. But I think it's about time to start cranking up the aggression here. I think maybe queen h4, queen h5 in case he plays that, and then, you know, f5. f5 really kind of opening things up right where I want him. I don't think I want to close it up, though. That would simply give him this square for his knight. So let's start with this. See how it goes. English. So if I do a quick Google search for English, you'll find English.com. Great place for finding English. And what do you think is going to be on the front page? Pole hunger for indoor. So it's basically should be hanger, I suppose. It's basically foreign packaging and signs and other messages that have been poorly translated into English from their native language. Oh, f6. That's an interesting attempt at defense. I think I'll play e5 now simply because of the trade possibility. I'd like to get my pawn off of here. Playing e5 is very tempting, but I think this is difficult for his pieces slightly tied up this way. So now I think I can not trade queens. That would be way too kind. Okay, I like his play. Maybe I can't checkmate him in one move. I'm running low on time, as you see, but there is a 4-second increment added every turn. Someone in the chat says that one of the best English phrases they have seen in person. They were in France, and there was a sign that said, speechless access, which is so Englishy you can't even tell what it's supposed to mean, but it's supposed to mean access denied, like you can't go there because you're speechless. So let's try this. This pawn's not guarded, so he's going to need to play the trade. But unfortunately, I can't bring enough power to checkmate him here. I think he should probably bring this rook over. Oh, this pawn's not very defended, is it? He seems to have outplayed me. Let's spend half my remaining time typing. Good job. I got the sneezes. Oh, why does this always happen to Chess Whiz and not Sound Voltex? I've never seen him sneeze. I don't want to trade rooks. I want to aggress. I want to... Oh, I have zero time. This isn't working. I need to get a rook on this file. Apparently, I'm out of rooks at this time. Sorry about that. But not sorry enough, apparently. So, this is a good square for my knight. Now I can hit some things. Not that one, of course. I want to get some... Oh, no, my queen. Yeah, so we're going to trade here. No choice. And now I've recovered the pawn. So we're back into a material balance, and that's lucky for me because he kind of had the momentum. That looks like a free bishop, though. Sir, your bishop. Let's capitalize this stuff. I can't spell bishop correctly, but at least I'm not too boastful about that. I have 2 new challengers. I was lucky, actually, that you played very well. You played very well. He's watching the stream right now. Are you watching stream? I'm pretty fast at typing. Not the world's fastest, but pretty fast. Perhaps we'll demonstrate that. Somehow my attack really petered out. And if we look at the analysis board, I think we'll be able to see the turning point there. When he got the trades and the e5 pawn was weak, I think e5 was a big mistake. Let's get some computer analysis. Because when the pawns are side by side here on e4 and f4, they're very strong. 2 pawns side by side. It doesn't look like they're doing much, but they're doing so much because this one's attacking like this. Let's go to the position where they're actually there. Right here. This one's doing this, and this one's doing this. And as you can see, it makes a beautiful wall of power. So even though the pawns aren't guarding each other, they're both working together very well. There's no weaknesses in this wall. And if either pawn comes under so much stress that it needs help being defended, it can always just move forward and be defended by his buddy. Either pawn can be defended by his friend if it just advances. So I'll be right back. I'm going to expel some phlegm. So I'm back, and the computer does not say that that was a big mistake. You can see pretty balanced, white doing well. Queen h4, that was a little bit overzealous. b3 was what it recommended. I love that. So this is a common strategy in this kind of position, is to play b3 and d3 to blockade this square. So black would never want to push. And then this pawn can become a target here because of the bishop coming this way and even the knight coming this way, both hitting this pawn. So that's actually something that you don't see in most chess games, a knight going off to the side for a strategic reason. But in this specific opening, it can be quite powerful. And let's see if the computer says that's what happens here. Yep, look at that. Knight a4, queen over, bishop. See, all the attackers on this pawn. It's kind of a weak pawn. White picks a target and goes after it. So I missed that strategy by coming off here on the king side, but I wasn't able to do enough. e5, f takes e5 blunder, but I missed the reason it was a blunder. Big blunder. Oh, I just need to trade queens here? Oh, I just need to trade queens and win the bishop. Oh, I'm humbled by that. So here it's kind of balanced, and then I made a big mistake. Rook f2, blunder, he has a checkmate. Well, I had no time, so that's the reason. Yeah, it doesn't have any other big mistakes, but you can see my advantage slowly slipping away. You can see the -5, -4. That's half a pawn advantage for black. We have some new challengers here, so let's take one of them. I think that Clearest Blue is a long-time viewer, so he's definitely a good pick. But he is saying Atomic, which is a very strange chess variant. Coolio, he was one of the first people to join the chat today, so I'm going to give him a game. Hi, good luck. He was like, when I brought up the stream, we have this countdown. If you've never seen the live stream, this page with the start on it actually has a timer, and it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. During that time, he was watching because he's so committed. So we're playing a 2-minute game. Let's try the double king pawn game. Is it going to be... it's a little bit unusual. Let's attack this pawn. Can I take it now? Or soon? Oh, it's a gambit. I think I'll save the knight this way. And now, am I dead? Maybe I'm misplaying this. I could save the knight this way. He's got an attack right here. I think this move might help. Okay, so d5, d6. Which one? And d6 seems good enough. d5. 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 This looks good. And then I'll just block that pin. I don't even need to block it. I could just move my bishop. How about check? He'll take it with his queen for free. Oh. Okay, let's not do that. How about here? So that's a trade. My center seems pretty solid. These two pawns, they're like, oh no, they're doubled and backward. It's not very good. But if I can push them, they can both work together in this area. And that's pretty nice. So I do have a plan to play c5. That's an important plan. If he gets this blockaded somehow with like everything attacking this area right here, then I could have a terrible pawn structure. But as long as I get c5 played, it becomes much, much better. So let's play it right now. In fact, I could play c4 and then c5 again, which isn't something you get to do every game. I don't know why I would play c4. It just seems cool. I'm not really an expert on when you play c4. You see this kind of shape in the Queen's Gambit, where you have your two pawns here and here, and then suddenly someone pushes his pawn further, and I'm not even sure when or why. It just kind of happens. I think I'll defend that this way. So this pawn structure is not bad at all. You can see these are actually called the hanging pawns because it's two pawns next to each other with no pawns on these files, both on empty open files. Very specific configuration. Have I lost my pawn though? That would be very disappointing. Hopefully he can't get anything too aggressive on this with his rook. Okay, so I do have this square. Works pretty well. Let's put the bishop out here. Threaten to mess up his pawns. He's starting to get very good play here. I think I need to play c5. So once again, two pawns side by side, very strong, attacking these four squares. When one of them was further back, it was not so strong. I had definite weaknesses right here. And if he was able to play knight a4, knight c5, he would be sinking his knight into that weakness. Very good play for him. Fortunately, he didn't do it. Now he's picking up this one, isn't he? We're going to have opposite color bishops, though. He didn't. So let's move up here. Oh, time is almost out. And the bishops are on opposite colored squares. So if we trade knights, this is going to be kind of a drawish ending, favoring the attacker while pieces are still on the board. But once they're gone, it's going to be kind of just a bunch of moves. And with no time on the clock, whoever makes those moves first will win. Let's push this now just for fun. So I shouldn't have done that. I don't think I should have done that. And the reason is the same as the reason... in that. Let's see if I can win that knight now. Yeah, he was a little overzealous in the corner, I think. Oh, good game. Good game. You really had me there. I think when my pawns were in this shape, like this, all you needed to do was really put pressure on the dark colored squares because I don't have any power there. All of my power is on light colors. So I think in this position, you could play knight a4 hitting the bishop and then knight c5 or even take this for free, I suppose. But once you get that knight into c5, you really start to get a bind on the center. Once I was pushed here, I was kind of, those problems were solved, except you did have that free pawn, so that's better. Now let's take a quick look at the analysis there while we enjoy some English. So let's go over to English.com and click on his new Vungled. And let's look at this excellent piece of English. It says Piano Boy. I don't even get this one. Pizzazz Boy. Not the funniest. From the shop, please. Take out from the corner of sake is prohibited. Find using the white cup set up at the bottom in the tasting hole in the left table to dismiss after use of the tasting cup. So they take like a bad Google Translate and they just take their whatever these things are called and run it through that and then just put that, they print it. Some countries are like, well, this is good enough, and it's the entire country that does it, obviously. Attention! Please refrain from sampling the driver and the minority. I hope sampling that defends manners. So I don't even know what that means. Probably don't eat the driver. But you can visit this website, ENGRISH, English.com, and enjoy your own English. It's kind of humorous. Okay, I think we have an analysis here. You can see the line is pretty balanced, but right here, white started to get an advantage, and that is this pawn, of course. So White advantage here. You know, it's not recommending knight a4. Oh, it's recommending knight a4 right now. See that? See that? That's what I was saying. Knight a4 is a good move. One move off though. So he's winning here. c5 is a big mistake. Just because he wins the middle pawn. Well, that was pretty anticlimactic. We got 7 challengers. Humble Chess Whiz has all of these friends. I just want to say thank you and hello, you guys. I'm so glad that you want to play chess with me. Now let's play chess. There's a lot of challengers. I think that Clearest Blue ought to be first because he's been waiting since the last round of challengers, but we're going to try to pick one of the new players as well. This is atomic chess and it's rated, so it's very important to play very precisely, especially with the black pieces, because you can just die here without very careful play. In atomic, if he takes this pawn blowing up my king, he wins. So, do I play this? I think I should play... I don't even know what to do here. Maybe f6. He's going to go here. I don't know what I'm doing. I should know this opening. Let's try this. At least it has a counterattack. He adds me time. Oh, thank you. It's like, oh, what's wrong with Chess Whiz? His brain is frozen. Let's thaw him out with this plus button. Oh, thank you. Give 15 sec. Okay, so now I'm going to get checkmated, so I move this. No, I'm going to lose. He's just going to play his knight right here, and my bishop's trapped. So apparently I've lost in 2 moves. That's embarrassing. Okay, so knight h6 wasn't the move. Good job, Clearest Blue. You beat me in 2 moves. Good job. You are smart. Okay, let's play somebody in chess, right? Casual, rated, and rated. Quindog, man, I love Quindog. This guy, he watches the YouTube show, and then he's like, comment. And his comments are the best comments. If you just search by Quindog, you'll be searched by quality. It's the same thing. So I'm so glad that I get to play him here. Let's play another double king pawn and see how it goes. This is going to be great. I love you, Quindog. Without you, the average comment quality would be somewhat different. Did I make some strange moves? Rook e8 seems nice. If this ever opens up... No, I've trapped my own bishop. That's too bad. That was too bad. But something that is too good is coming up next. To push here. To open the center. I did give up a piece for a pawn. My bishop was trapped by this pawn. So Quindog is on a roll so far. So I'm going to try to mix it up with an open center against that king. Try to make that piece sacrifice worth something. He's a little nervous right now because he's playing against Chess Whiz and he's ahead a piece. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. Ta-da! I seem to have attacked a pin knight. I seem to have taken a queen for free. So this is actually a great upgrade to my position. Going from down a piece to ahead a queen, fantastic change. And I'm really glad he allowed this change to take place. 2 attackers on the knight. Well, his comments are okay. His chess not so much. I think my queen can overpower all this stuff. I could take this for free, which would kind of endanger everything, so maybe I'll do that and see what happens. The rook is not guarded. The bishop is only guarded by the rook. The knight is only guarded by the bishop. That didn't work. Let's take that one next. Good game, Quindog. You had me until you didn't. You really had me. That was great play when you trapped my bishop. Actually, I just didn't notice. In this position, I need to do something about the problem here and maybe play my own a5 or maybe a6. Either one of those moves would have kept me in the game, but I didn't play either one. Let's play against a random opponent. Now, we have 6 opponents, so let's go to random.org and pick a number from 1 to 6, and we will get an opponent number 5. That's going to be Casona something, something, something. It's an atomic game. But fortunately, I have the white pieces, so I won't suicide one move. By the way, those of you watching on YouTube, if you're wondering what I should have done in that last atomic game when the knight came up and just took my king, we have Program Fox in the chat telling us that c6 was not the best first move. If against knight c3, you should not play c6, and that kind of led to my problems. He says instead e6 or knight f6 would have been better. So I'm going to try knight f6 the next time I'm facing that. I think that'll help. atomic chess. So this is atomic again. I'm the white player. I have tons of space in the center, so this feels really good. Feels great. Hey guys, if you're watching for the first time, welcome and thank you for watching. This is dangerous. Take, bishop takes knight here. And then let's like knight, that knight is doing some cool stuff. He'll play queen here and I'll blow up everything. Sounds good. Very, very delicate. Like a knight is holding me together. If he pushes this pawn, I cannot let him take here because it would blow up this knight and then the bishop would take my queen, blowing up my king. I don't have 5 colors. Otherwise, I would have used the 5th color on my king. So here I probably push again to keep everything away from that knight. We'll pin that. If he pushes now, I take that, blowing up that, and then I'm attacking his king. Oh, yikes. I think I'm okay here. I actually think bishop e7 is going to cause him a big, big, big problem. Because if he takes it, his king blows up. And if I take him here, his king blows up. And if he moves here, I take here and his king blows up. As you can see, his king blows up. So I think he's got a problem. I think this is going to work. I don't mind losing the bishop. For example, if he does something and I lose the bishop, I'm okay with that. Like this for example. I lost my bishop. Great. Good work, Chess Whiz. Keep it up. Keep up. The bishop loses. Castle. This open file is going to be super handy. And then push. Take that. Oh, this is pretty dangerous. I think I overdid the aggression. Maybe this will work though. So his king is very exposed here. Bishop here, move. Bishop here, pawn advances. Queen here. This pawn has to move, then queen here. I think that's going to work. Might be better without the next bishop move. No, let's try it. So I'm attacking this. If I take it, his king blows up. If he moves it, queen here. Of course, it looks like the knight could take it. But then I would take that and his king would blow up. So I think he's in some pretty... Oh, I didn't need to save my king. I could have blown up his king instead. Atomic's kind of weird. You don't have to get out a check up. You can blow up the enemy army. The way I think of it is this. The enemy king, when it explodes, all of his cohorts, and by that I mean the other pieces of that color, they disappear from the board. So you can hear a sound, which is him blowing up, and I win. Good game, Cassonda boss. GG. That was cool. I actually think that the big center that I had gave me a big edge, but right here I was worried. The bishop check and the knight block, this is very fragile, so you did a good job setting that up. I was impressed. We have time for only one more game. There's just 3 minutes left in the episode, and this is sign language for 3. By the way, if you sign 3 like this means 6 guys because it's 6, so stop doing that. This is 3. Thumb included in 3. You can remember that because thumb included in the 3, right? So this is the way you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now you can see why this is 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, okay? So sure, just trust me, that's totally 6. And now you can be annoying and pedantic to your friends who count with their thumbless hands. So I only have time for one more opponent, and I don't know who to pick, so let's do another 1 to 6. I hope I play all of you. Oh, it's number 2. Oh, it's Ans Jovis. This is going to be a great game. I'm so excited to play you. And I'm so sorry, you guys, who didn't get to play. Maybe next episode. We broadcast Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. GMT. So that's 8 in the morning if you're on the Pacific coast of the United States, like California. It's 11 a.m. if you're on the East Coast of the United States, like New York. And this is chess, so let's see what happens here. Let's try this move. So that's a pretty good time for nobody because it's like during school or work, depending on how old you are. So sorry about that. But in Europe, it's okay. Like 3 p.m. in England, that's nice. You're just getting out of your English things that you do in England. I'm not in England, so I don't really know what you do. It rains on you, and you're like, oh, Chesma's TV, it's because it's raining. No, no, wait, it's always raining. Never mind. And then in Asia, it's the middle of the night, so sorry about that. But since it's Tuesday right now, you'll have another chance on Thursday to join in and send a challenge. Except you won't, because on Thursday we're having a tournament. But you can play in the tournament, so that'll be good. And then on Saturdays, the time is different. It's at 18:30. No, it's at 20:30. Oh, I hate military time, and by that I mean I love it because it confuses me, but that's okay because it confuses everyone else. And actually, it kind of levels the playing field. As long as everyone else is confused, I'm totally okay with being confused. So it's 20:30, which is 6:30 p.m. GMT. And if you're on the Pacific coast of the United States, once again, like in California, you just play Rook F3. And it's, man, this is like a super long essay about what time it is. On Saturday, just tune in at 1:30 in the afternoon on the Pacific. And in New York or Florida or Massachusetts, it's going to be 4:30 p.m. You got that? Good, because I'm going to stop now. So I see like there's a great fork here. So I'm going to do that. Here we go. How do you like this? I'm forking you in a fork. It's like a fork with a fork to a fork. It's going to be great. Look at that shape. It's like the pinwheel of doom. This is great. So tune in next time, and I'll play you then. Sorry we don't have time right now. The episodes are only 30 minutes long. So apparently he'd rather have me capture this one. Good choice, I think. The king is blocking the bishop. It's safer because there's no queens on the board, but it's less good because it's in the way of everything. I think I'll bring up my pieces. You know, C3 is really nice because if he takes, I get this super, super good center. I should do that one in green. But if he doesn't take, I don't. So let's not overcomplicate things. I'm so sorry about my nose. Let's solve this problem once and for all. Okay, problem solved. I blew my nose hard enough to handle me for the next week. What about this move with check? Kind of bad, right? King here. I've got some rook stuff. Just in time to get my rooks on this file. The most important part of this position, though, is kind of the boring part, which is that I am ahead of pawn. Check that. Or lose. This pawn is so good. If only I could defend it somehow. Pushing it creates some major weaknesses. This square no longer covered by a pawn. This square no longer covered by a pawn. I do have pawns that could do this, but a nice trick that black sometimes uses here, like on f5, is to play his pawn here. Because with the pawn attacking g4, it's very hard to drive the knight away. So that's a trick you can keep in mind, using a pawn to keep a pawn out of a pawn square. I will play the check just because I don't see a good way to defend e4. This guy's playing quite well after he lost the pawn. I really want to play my rook in because I want to keep pieces active. I'm going to do that. You can see I'm losing this pawn, but I'm not really because the threat of discovered check. The knight can move anywhere. For example, take this for free, take something else crazy, and there will be no repercussions. So let's capture this way. And capture with bishop, I don't know. Let's capture with bishop. I don't really want opposite colored bishops. It's going to make it hard to win. So I'll defend that. Then I'll play g3. And then my problems will be solved. It is kind of scary that his bishop is on the same color as my three most important remaining pieces. So there's a chance of getting skewered somehow where he attacks everything at once. But I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. So I would love to trade this bishop for this knight, because then we would be left with the same color square, both light square bishops, and I could cause another trade and win the game. If I trade this way, then we have a light square against a dark square. It'd be very hard to win because he sets up a blockade on his color. I can't quite advance through. We're starting to see low time on the clock, though. So I think that's going to be the real outcome here, is whoever runs out of time first loses. That's the rules. Yeah, so let's tell him time. This is what I do with Roundup, and he speeds up immediately. So if I take this, then I could skewer him, but it's just not enough. Because he would recapture with the rook. No, he wouldn't. Yeah, he would. No, yeah. 15 seconds. Why am I thinking? All I need to do is move. Now it's 6 seconds to 4. So all I have to do is pre-move some dumb stuff. Oh no! Oh, what was that sound? Somebody's out of time. What? It was a rated game. What? Just Whiz, your brain is locking up. Oh, you played that really well, Ans Jovis, and by that I mean you moved slightly faster, and that'd be 0.25 seconds faster out of the 3 minutes than I did. I can't believe I played that slowly. That was extremely sloppy. I mean, in this position, there's nothing he can do but slowly lose, but it was a good idea to put up some pressure here on this file so that I at least have to be concerned about this pawn. And when that's happening, my brain is just freezing up like an ice cube inside of an ice cube. I can't even believe I didn't find anything to do except lose all my pieces and run out of time. There must have been something better to do, but I just couldn't find it. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I certainly did, and that's kind of why I do this. There are a few important people that support the show, such as Damon, and I love you, Damon, and not just for doing that. However, if you want to support the show too, you can do that. Here's how. Bye. Apparently that's not how. So there's this website called Patreon. Everybody knows about it because everyone's constantly asking for stuff. I'm going to put this link in the chat of the chat box. And you can see I have 3 patrons right now, and I'm looking off in the corner. Oh, this is the old video. I should change that, right? So if you really love the show and you want to support the show so that it keeps on happening exactly as it is, or if it continues to improve, simply visit patreon.com/chesswiz and you can support the show. You can also go to the website at chesswiz.tv and click support. And there's an important thing about the website that I should show you. Here's the website. You click connect, and then you're like support the show, and then you're like Patreon right here. So that's a good way to get to it from the website. The website has all future episodes, and look at this calendar. Nothing is happening this month. Don't believe it. I'm going to draw a big rectangle to show that this is the area you should not believe. We're going to fill out this calendar extremely soon with new episodes and things. So you should check back here in like a day or two and see all the new episodes so that you can be like, no, I don't want to watch any of that. Because that way you can plan out your future, which is just fantastic. This has been Chess Whiz TV. Thanks for watching.